anybody take my fries, did you?
No, I haven't seen anybody. Sorry.
In the world?
This looks like a job for Detective Ranger Rusty. Let's look around for some clues. Aha! I found some clues. Let's go follow them and see where they lead to. Here's some more. Whoa, it looks like that we found some tracks over here. And right over here, can you help me find what tracks were left behind? And to be a good animal detective, we have to learn a few skills. So let's head over and look at what we need to identify for tracks. So the first step in identifying animal tracks is looking at its shape. If we look over here, we can see that there are some animals have webbed feet, like our beaver. We also have some animals that have hooves, or they might have toe pads, or they might have fingers. Some may show claws. Look at that, all the diversity of the different tracks that we can find around our area. Another thing is we want to also look at the size. If you look at over here, we have where you can see that a red squirrel tracks does not look the same as a black bear. All right, so now we want to take out your handprint and we're going to figure out how to measure tracks. So first of all, we're going to practice with your hand and measure from the base of the heel to the very top of the fingers, or if you got like the nails as well, it's to measure up to there. They would be like the claws on the animal. If we're going to find the width, we want to measure from side to side from the farthest points. All right, so now to figure out the width, we're measuring from tip to tip. So you're going from the farthest point of the hand or the claw marks that you're measuring. So now that we're going to look at our fox and our coyote and our dog and look at the different characteristics and what makes them different. So if we look at our fox print, we have down here on the heel pad, you can notice that there's a little bit of hair that shows because the fox does not always leave a full print behind because of their padded foot. So we have with B was our coyote track. Did you guess that right? Does the heel pad look like a facial feature? Does it look like my nose? So for letter C, that was our dog print. And if you notice that one was different than the coyote because the paw prints were kind of spread out more, and also the claws kind of point outward away from the center. We have, first of all, is our bear print. Do you notice that there was 5 toe prints instead of 4? And also on its heel pad, it's shaped like an oval or like a bean shape as well. So with our cat print, we have if you notice that the toe pads, they're not showing the claws because they can retract their claws. And with their heel print, if you look at the bottom of it, it looks like the letter M. So that's a good way to identify it as well. This one is of our bobcat. He is about a medium-sized cat, and you probably won't see them too often because they come out at night. Most of the animals that we looked at so far have the fingers or toe pads, but now we're going to look at an animal that has hoof prints. So This was one in our area, only one in our area that has the hoof prints, but it looks similar to a goat or a pig or a cow. Now, the white-tailed deer can also be found along the edge of a creek or out near an open field, and sometimes you find their tracks overlapping the other tracks. So we have like our back tracks may land just behind the front tracks. Another way to identify tracks is by looking at their front and back foot. They don't always look the same. So we might have some tracks where the front one is smaller than their back tracks. We have in our area the gray squirrel and the fox squirrel. But we're going to look at our gray squirrel. And did you notice that on your worksheet, the gray squirrel, the front paw is smaller? It also has the 4 toes that are showing. And if you look at their back toe, their back print, we have like the 5 toes that are showing, and you can see how much longer it is. By having that longer foot, that allows them to jump from tree to tree. All right, now that we've looked at the tracks, we're going to also look at the gait pattern, which is how they walk. Now that we've looked at the tracks, we're going to also look at their gait pattern. That is the way that an animal walks. So we're going to look at, first of all, the diagonal gait pattern of animals such as a dog or a coyote or a fox makes. And I'm going to show you a demonstration. So you're going to start out on all fours, and your left hand will go forward and the right foot is going forward at the same time. Then it's the opposite. We have like the opposite hands are moving at the same time. So we're going to have our friend from the Fayetteville Police Department. It's going to be Officer Chloe that's going to come in and demonstrate her walking through the mud so you can see her gait pattern. So if you notice on your letter C of your worksheet with our dog prints, you'll notice that the pads are kind of spread out a little bit more than the coyote, and their claw marks will be pointing outward. All right, another gait pattern we're going to look at are our pacers. These are going to be some of the bigger animals that we have, like our bear, or our possum, or the raccoon. And how they move is you're going to have the whole right side move forward at once, and then the whole left side move forward at once. And you're kind of going to sway a little bit as well as you're moving. So you know who else is also a pacers? Is humans. We walk like that as well, except for we walk on 2 feet instead of 4 feet. So the third type of animal gait pattern we're going to talk about are our bounders. These are going to be like our weasels and our otters, sometimes squirrels bound as well. And so what that's going to look like is the front feet are going to land first, and then the back feet are going to come behind it. So I'll demonstrate. We have forward, and then you bring your back right behind the front feet. So we're going forward, and then back right behind it. All right. Now that you looked at the different gait patterns and the tracks, let's see if you can figure out who stole the fries. All right. Can you figure out which animal stole the fries? Let's go to number 5 on your worksheet. And we also want to use your animal ID chart to see if you can figure out who it was. So we're first looking at with step 1, how many toes does it have on the front and back foot? Number 2 is, does it have claws? And then number 3 is looking at the measurement of its front foot. And then number 4 is looking at the measurement of its back foot. Feel free to pause the videos, take a few minutes, and I'll wait. Did you guess the raccoon? Congratulations! You identified the thief that stole our fries. Now that you learned some skills, look around your house and see what animals you have that's living around your home. Until now, this is Ranger Rusty from Clark Park. See you soon.